Thank you so much, Chair Takano. I appreciate this. Thank you also to Commander Whitehead. As a fellow veteran, I appreciate all that our veteran service organizations do. And also, I continue to be a commission member of my county's Veterans Affairs Commission. So thank you very much for all that you do. Our county commission was very happy when the Blue Waters Act went through. And so and I think you made some reference to this earlier. My question or comments are in reference to the tremendous sacrifice all our veterans have made and putting themselves at risk, especially in times of war, but also how that carries over into peacetime. And we've mentioned toxic substances, burn pits, the legislation that we're hoping to get passed in a bipartisan fashion this year. And so my question is, utilizing the information we have from National Academies of Sciences and other research organizations onto environmental effects such as the burn pits, Agent Orange, that, should we have established a commission that would identify and be forward thinking in identifying toxic substances, pesticides, other things that exposure now or in the future could have adverse both physical and mental health adverse events upon our veterans, and they serve so that we do this in a proactive fashion rather than in a retroactive fashion. As all of us know, to get legislation passed to address these issues and be classified as a disability is an extraordinarily cumbersome process. So something that's looking more forward thinking to address these issues, I think might be helpful for our veterans.
And Congressman, thank you for such a great question. It's very important that we do look forward, and you're exactly right that we have to start looking in the future. We can't have our veterans that are currently serving or will be serving in the future having to wait as long as we have in the past for like Vietnam era veterans and stuff like that. But if my service director Jim can maybe elaborate a little bit more on the toxic exposure and stuff, Jim.
Yes, thanks, Commander. As I spoke earlier, I think we're in this situation because we don't have a great framework to establish presumptive conditions. And that's really what we need to concentrate on here. I mean, the hypertension, the 3 new presumptives that were added where VA has taken no action on yet. Just another perfect example of how we have to do better in improving the data collection. Like you had mentioned, forward thinking. Establish a concession of exposure. That's why we're trying to, get legislation passed that will concede that exposure. So down the line, if they do develop a chronic illness as a result of that exposure, then it's that much easier to secure a medical opinion and have a claim process so they can get the benefits that they've earned based upon those exposures. So we have a lot of work to do, but we're certainly willing and want to work with you and your staff to make sure that that happens this year.